Ever find yourself like daydreaming, about where you'd like to be, what you want to achieve?
Oh, absolutely. I think we all have those aspirations, those things we're kind of working towards.
Right. But sometimes it feels like, how do we actually make those dreams happen? That's what I'm so curious to dig into today.
It's about taking action, right? Turning those dreams into something concrete.
Exactly. And lucky for us, we can learn from the best. In a recent episode of Unlocking Potential, they shared some super practical goal setting advice. I'm ready to dive in. Are you in?
Let's do it. I'm always up for some actionable insights.
Me too. So, one thing that really struck me from Unlocking Potential was their emphasis on starting with you. It's not just about setting any goal, it's about picking goals that truly resonate with your values.
Yeah, they were really big on that, weren't they? Like what actually matters to you, not what society tells you to want or what you think you should be aiming for.
Right. It's like they said, it's about making sure you're climbing the right ladder in the first place.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you might reach the top and realize, wait a minute, this isn't even where I wanted to be.
Totally. And they had some great tips on figuring out what that right ladder even is, like journaling. Have you ever tried that?
I have. I actually find it incredibly helpful. Sometimes just getting those thoughts out of my head and onto paper makes them so much clearer.
I can see that. Like it helps you process, reflect.
Yeah, exactly. And unlocking potential had a really interesting example with the reading log. Remember that?
Yes. They talked about how tracking their reading helped them not only stay accountable, but also appreciate their progress over time.
It's like having a tangible record of your journey. It's
Yeah,
so motivating to look back and see how far you've come.
totally. But okay, let's get into the nitty gritty. We've got our big dreams. We know what matters to us. How do we actually turn those into concrete plans?
Well, that's where the SMART goals framework comes in.
Right. Which, by the way, Unlocking Potential broke down so well. It's about being strategic with our ambitions.
Absolutely. And it all starts with being specific. Unlocking potential actually gave a fantastic example. Instead of saying, I want to get fit, which is pretty vague, you could say, I want to run a 5K in 3 months.
Oh, that's so much better, right? Suddenly it's not just this abstract idea anymore. It's like, okay, I have a clear target.
Exactly. And that ties directly into the M measurable. How are you going to track your progress?
Yeah.
Could be a fitness app for the 5K, a spreadsheet to track savings, or even, like they suggested, a simple checklist for smaller goals.
Visualizing your progress, that's huge. But we got to be real with ourselves too, right?
Totally. It's got to be achievable. It's great to be ambitious, but we don't want to set ourselves up for failure by setting goals that are just, like, impossible to reach.
Like aiming for the moon when you haven't even built your spaceship yet. Baby steps, right?
Exactly. It should be a challenge for sure,
Yeah.
but it also has to be something you can realistically accomplish.
And this is where it really clicks for me. It's got to be relevant to your life, to what you were saying earlier about those values.
Right. It has to be something you genuinely care about achieving, not just something you feel like you should do.
So true. But even when a goal ticks all those boxes, sometimes that initial excitement fades. How do we keep that momentum going? What did Unlocking Potential say about staying motivated?
Well, they highlighted two key strategies: accountability and celebration.
Okay, tell me more about those. Accountability, that always feels a bit scary, but I know it works.
It does. It's about finding someone you trust, a friend, a mentor, even a family member, and sharing your goal with them.
It's like having a cheerleader in your corner, right? Someone to keep you going when it gets tough.
Exactly. They're there to provide support, offer encouragement, and maybe even give you a little nudge if you start to slack off.
Love it. And what about celebration?
Celebration is all about acknowledging and appreciating your wins along the way. Unlocking potential really emphasized how important it is to celebrate those milestones, no matter how small they might seem.
Those small wins really do add up. It's like giving yourself a little pat on the back and saying, hey, I'm doing this, I'm making progress.
Exactly. Celebrating those small victories can be so motivating. It helps you stay positive, keeps that momentum going, and reminds you why you set this goal in the first place.
This has been so insightful. Unlocking Potential really nailed it with those strategies. But it got me thinking. They were mainly talking about personal goals. Could we apply this framework to, say, work projects or even relationships?
Ooh, that's an interesting thought. I love that you're thinking outside the box like that.
It just makes me wonder, could setting SMART goals for a team project or even for improving communication in a relationship, could that lead to better outcomes?
That's a really fascinating idea.
Hmm.
It definitely gives us a lot to ponder. Maybe we can explore that more in a future episode. What do you think?
Absolutely. There's always more to uncover in the world of goals and achievement, and I have a feeling this conversation is just the beginning. For now, though, big thanks to Unlocking Potential